What's up, y'all? The reviewers here. Sorry that I haven't been on here lately, man. It's just, man, I've been so crazy busy, man, with working and all that stuff. But this was a topic that I've always wanted to talk about for a while, man, because I think a lot of people, specifically those that's into rap music, when it comes to being a certain age, the rap and all that stuff, and then you hear people saying, you 40 something years old and you still rapping, you 50 something years old and start rapping, and I feel like rap music or hip hop is the only genre, I feel like rap or hip hop is the only genre that has an age limit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's crazy to even think that way. We don't think that way when it comes to R&B, country music, rock and roll music, heavy metal, gospel even. We don't talk about ages when it comes to that genre. But when it comes to rap or hip hop, it's a problem. This is something that I've always had a problem with. And you still got guys that's 50 years old and above still, rapping, making rap music, but my argument is what you're rapping about at that certain age. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say, for example, we all were young ones, right? In our teens, early 20s, stuff like that. If you was making rap music back then most likely you're gonna probably be rapping hardcore, being a little profane with your music and rapping about maybe some gangster stuff, killing people, things like that, right? But as you get older, you start to realize those type of music or those type of lyrics that you made back then just wouldn't fit in today's society anymore, you know what I'm saying? Or it shouldn't. So you decide to mature a bit, start to be more knowledgeable of like history, historical events, educating people in your music and stuff like that. So as you get older, you should progress into someone more mature. And you may say a little cuss words here and there, but it's not as profane as you used to. You know what I'm saying? So my argument with people that talks about a certain age, because I remember the Game, the rapper The Game, he said something like, you 38 years old and still rapping. In my opinion, I don't feel like rap music has a certain age limit to where you should stop making music. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to stop making rap music, you just stop doing it on your own merits, not because I'm at this age now and I should quit. But we don't say this about singers. We don't sing this about country singers and this, that, and the third. We don't do that. Now, I have to ask this question: why is rap the only genre that has an age limit? I never thought that it did have an age limit. I thought as long as you make good music or music that's talented, then that's more meaningful, right? So what I'm saying here is, so you saying that I should have started or you should take the rap music more seriously when I'm like a young teenager or in my 20s or something? You think you're saying that I should have took it more seriously and all that stuff? So, like I said, you have rappers such as LL Cool J still rapping, and I know people's like, well, he been in the game for several years now. Regardless, what if he had just started making music when he was 50-something years old? That would have been a problem then. You see what I'm saying? This is why I'm trying to get an understanding of, like, I don't get it. I thought we want to hear good rap music, right? Is that what we're listening for, or are we looking for certain ages of artists or rap artists to make music and see if we like it? Is that what really boils down here? Because I've always thought as long as you're making good rap music, or specifically positive rap music, I thought that would be more meaningful, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I listen to hardcore rap, gangster rap, all that stuff. But for me, I stopped listening to certain artists at a certain point. And what I'm saying is this: the rappers that I grew up to, there's a lot of influential artists that I listened to back then, and I wouldn't listen to if they still rap and make music, I wouldn't listen to their music today. And the reason being is, if I sense that they haven't matured enough in life when it comes to rap music, then I'm not really going to listen to them like that anymore. Now, there's a few artists that I still listen to, and even if they come out with new music, I can still hear it. I can still listen to it, because I can listen to the maturity of the lyrics, of the beats. I mean, you name it. I can listen to all of that, and I can understand that this person done mature, or they mature over the years, and I can tell in their music that they fully mature. But unfortunately, there's certain artists, like I said, I'm not going to list them, but there's certain artists that I know that reach a certain age, and I won't listen to them anymore because I felt like they haven't really matured. But I will always listen to their older music, because I can definitely appreciate it, the fact that they went from somewhere, or went from nowhere to somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I've always said if an artist reaches a certain age, it should matter what they're rapping about. That's another thing that I can see why some people would say you're this age and still rapping, but they don't say you're this age and still rapping about this. You got rappers today that may be in their 40s or even 50s, and they're still rapping about shooting guns, killing people, drinking, smoking weed, going to clubs, hitting up broads you know what I'm saying? And they're at a certain age where you should be getting older to where you don't have to really rap about that type of stuff anymore. I can get the age part when it comes to that perspective, of course. But what I'm talking about is rappers that may make positive music, or I should say mature rap music, in their certain age. Or even they can be young and be rapping about maturity content. And I'm talking about more on the positive side. They can be young and do that too. But if you're 40 something and not understanding the audience and what they want to hear, that's when the downfall hits. Okay, I know people who are 50 years old rapping, right? But they're rapping about violence, drugs, smoking weed. Well, maybe the smoking weed, I'll give it a pass. But selling drugs though, I don't understand. You're 50 something years old and you still rapping about violence and drugs? That's when the problem hits. You know what I'm saying? And you messing with all types of different broads. That's when I say to myself, okay, you have not fully matured at this age. But again, my argument goes back to, I don't think rap music has an age limit. It shouldn't be an age limit. If rap has an age limit, then say that about the R&B, country, rock and roll, heavy metal, shoot, even alternative music. Say that about those guys, that they're a certain age and they're still singing or whatever they're doing. But we don't hear people say that. We don't hear people say, you're 40 years old and you making rock and roll music? We don't hear people say that. Rap music is unfortunately the only genre that's talked about when it comes to age. Now, do I think the rap game today is horrible? In my opinion, I do. And I'll talk more about that topic as I make another video. But as a rapper myself or artist myself, I make music. I have a lot of older music that I made back then, and I'm cussing like a sailor, man. I mean, I'm saying mother effer this, my real N-word that. I'm doing all of that. But again, I wasn't smart in the mind like I am now. You know, I was very ignorant back then. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm fully mature, because those are music that I made over 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I fully matured to someone that I feel if I make rap music now, it would fit more for the older audiences, or even for children to play or to listen to, because I know how to finally attract my audience on what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But that's for me with the age limit, because rap music shouldn't have an age limit. It just shouldn't. I don't know why it should. Now I say this much. I don't think a person, and I'm talking about just music in general, I don't think a person that's 40, 50 something years old should be trying to pursue music into like a record label type status. Because if y'all remember videos that I made back then, these record labels is out to get you if you don't understand the fine print of the business. These record labels is probably, these weird labels is probably one of the worst things out here, and they're waiting to screw artists over. And it won't matter how much talent you have. As long as they can get and milk you out of every penny, they will do it. But I digress. I'll speak more of that on another video. But unfortunately, I just don't understand why people would say rap music has an age limit. I mean, I be looking at people's tweets, not tweets, but I be looking at people's stuff in threads that I see on the Instagram. I be looking at what people be saying about rappers, and they're saying, why are you 40 something years old and you just start rapping, or you just start making rap music, as if that could not be a hobby. That can't be a hobby to what people may want to do. People be saying this about video games too. Like, you're too old to be playing video games, as if it has an age limit too. Like, today's society is so screwed, man. Like, I be telling my younger peoples, man, and I'm like, I feel so bad for this generation, man. Because sooner or later, man, rap music, and Ice Cube said this years ago. He said hip hop ain't gonna be so nice. He said this back in the 90s. It's like he kind of knew what was going to happen. You got people just downing rap music because of what they hear on the radio. And I can say that I agree with it, but again, we're not really looking in the right places. We're not looking for rap music in the right places. Like, I respect anybody's hustle if they want to make rap music or not. Especially if you're like 40 something years old. Hell, I want to listen to a 40 something year old rapper or a rap artist. I want to hear what they're talking about. And I don't want to down the younger people. I'm talking about 20 something year old rappers. But usually when they're that age, they're not fully mature yet. At least for the most part. There may be some young old rappers out there, and I'm saying it in a sense like mentality wise. There may be some out there, but they're rare. Like, they're extremely rare. You know what I'm saying? So, hell, if a artist want me to listen to their music and they're like in their 30s or 40s, I definitely will give them a listen, because I would love to hear what they're saying. Maybe they can relate. Maybe I can relate to what they're saying because they're around my age. You know what I'm saying? Even the 50 something year old, you know what I'm saying? I I can probably relate to it, or if not, I can feel where they're coming from. But I really, I know I said this several times, but I really disagree with the age limit when it comes to rap music. My only argument with age limit is what you're rapping about at what age you are. You know, if you're 40 something, 50 something years old, and you're still rapping about the ignorant stuff, and you're not trying to teach the youth about this rap business or this music industry, anything of that sort, then, like I said, you fully have not matured as an artist. Or you may be starting off, but you don't understand the whole concept of the rap industry or the hip hop industry. So, but that's pretty much it, man. I just don't agree with age limit. I just, maybe I'm one of the only few that understands, because some people may have started making rap music late, like myself, for instance. I've been making music back then, but I couldn't really focus on it because I didn't have the right equipment. I didn't know what to start with. I didn't know what, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know the whole aspect of making music with great quality. So with that being said, we all got to start from somewhere when it comes to the rap industry, you know, for those that are rap artists. But it's always best to mature yourself in the long run, especially if you're trying to be there for, you know, for longevity. So, but that's it though. That's all what I want to say about that. For those that's in the age of what I am, don't let anyone discourage you from making rap music, because especially if it's something that you love to do. If that's your specialty, if that's something that you really enjoy, because it don't have to be about the money. I mean, it don't always have to be about the money. If you do it with no money involved, that goes to show you love the fact of making music. Like, you would do it if there was no money involved. You know what I'm saying? So don't let so for those that's making music in the age limit, don't let anyone discourage you from making rap music, especially if it's on a positive tip or if it's something that you love to do. All right? So that's it, y'all. Much love to the real folks, and I'll be on here back with another video. All right? Peace out, guys.